Welcome to ESPN College Football, presented by McDonald's. Friday night from the Bull City on the campus of North Carolina Central, the Eagles looking to take flight against the Howard University Bison. And oh yeah, when you're at O'Kelly Riddick Stadium, you know that the tailgate is in full effect. Hey, it's a little breezy night, chilly, that's okay. Camp out by the fire. We've got a good one coming your way next. Taking a look at the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference standings. The reigning champs, Howard, sitting at 1-2. North Carolina Central in second place. They've just got one loss in the conference. Meanwhile, South Carolina State has an opportunity to clinch the MEAC championship with a win tomorrow against Morgan State. Hey, what's up, fam? With the former Howard University and NFL quarterback, Jay Walker, I'm Tiffany Green. And at the start of the season, everyone was anticipating that this would be the game for the MEAC crown. However, Jay, it hasn't shaked out quite that way.
In a conference where it's Celebration Bowl or bust, both teams are disappointed because they don't control their own destiny. However, if you're North Carolina Central, you have an opportunity to win out the rest of your games, finish the year 8-3, and possibly get an invitation to the FCS playoffs.
Now it's an outside shot for North Carolina Central. They want to make it 3 years in a row, and here are some of the key games that they've won against Alabama State and Campbell out of conference. And of course, that loss to South Carolina State could certainly help them, but Jamari Taylor has also been quite helpful for the Eagles.
He's been the spark plug, the MVP for head coach Trey Oliver and the Eagles. A running back that can hurt you out of the backfield, but also is a threat in the passing game. This is an offense that averages almost 35 points a game, and Jamari Taylor is the reason why.
Well, on the other side, Kenny Gallup Jr. has a no-flight zone for that secondary for the Bison, the 2023 Aeneas Williams Award winner.
And I think he's the reason why this matchup is so special. Howard University boasts one of the best secondaries in FCS pass defense yards. You see the numbers there. If they can slow down this North Carolina Central attack, look for them to have an opportunity to pull off the upset here in Durham.
Well, Howard University wins the toss. They defer. And so North Carolina Central will get the ball to begin this game. 51 degrees here at the start of game time, and we're underway here in Durham. The up man receives it, and that's Luke Bracey, the tight end. And so we'll introduce you to the man, Walker Harris, who had the keys to the Lamborghini, the sports car, this season. It was his first year authoring the offense for North Carolina Central, and thus far, Jay, you've got to be pleased if you're Trey Oliver with the way that Walker Harris has played this season.
Yeah, the left-handed quarterback from right down the road in Wake Forest, North Carolina, has really stepped into it. The moment has not been too big for him. When he's in a good rhythm, he's one of the best passers in FCS football. He's one of the key cogs for the passing game. But like we mentioned in the open, Jamari Taylor is the guy that Howard University must pay attention to for the Eagle offense.
So this North Carolina Central team, who is coming off of a bye week, their last game back on Halloween. Well, you're hearing from Derek Hatton to start off this ball game. So Walker Harris and this Eagles offense had some time off, chance to heal up a little bit, and Jamari Taylor to the right of him in the backfield. Sends a man in motion, and the handoff to Jamari Taylor. Taylor trudges ahead and then goes backwards as Kenny Gallup Jr. helping to drive him back. 3-yard gain on the play. We saw his 74 tackles on the season. And again, he's a player who's all over the field.
And that's the matchup I want to see. As good as Jamari Taylor is offensively, Kenny Gallup is that guy defensively for Howard University. And NFL talent, he's going to have to play close to the line of scrimmage often tonight.
Here on 2nd and 7 from the North Carolina Central 31-yard line. Harris back, and then again quickly greeted by Jamel Stewart. But how about Jamari Taylor with the extra effort, power running, 4-yard pickup, and it's going to bring up 3rd and short.
You know, this is going to be a chippy contest. These two teams do not care for each other, and I don't think the coaches care for each other either. They're going to be extra effort. People are going to try and finish off blocks all night. The will be tested in this football game.
Well, you see the body slam from Terrence Holland there at the end of the play. all-conference performer coming off an 8-tackle performance in last week's loss to South Carolina State. 3rd and 3, and some disruption in the face of Walker Harris' pass incomplete. And it's going to bring up 4th down. So a 3 and out for the Eagles offense to start off this game in the opening drive. We talked about how these teams don't necessarily care for one another after North Carolina Central and Howard split or had a share of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference in 2022. It was Howard who put up a 50-piece on this group last season in D.C. And we're MEAC champs.
It calls for the fair catch. I mean, the backstory to that is the fact that when North Carolina Central went to the Celebration Bowl, Howard University got rings made saying they were coaching. And Central took offense to that, and they said, well, we hope they put 50 somewhere on their ring. And then when Howard won a season ago, Howard was up by a lot. They had 48 points, and they went for 2 with a 35-point lead to pick 50 back. So it goes back and forth, and this is a legitimate rivalry.
Ja'Shawn Scroggins, the redshirt sophomore out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and he takes over for Quentin Williams, the longtime quarterback for the Bison, who graduated out. And so Ja'Shawn Scroggins, they'll look to put the ball in his hands and give him some opportunities to make plays, but he's also got a dynamic backfield with him. Scroggins rolling to his right, has a man. Pass is complete to Isaiah Williams, and Isaiah Williams with the gain of 20 on their first play of their offensive series.
You saw the numbers on Scroggins, and those numbers are pretty accurate. What you see is what you get. Sometimes he's very good, sometimes he can be very bad. 8 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That tells you he's that 50-50 quarterback that's still developing in his maturity at the quarterback position.
The handoff to Jared Hunter, and Hunter, who's wrapped up by a few jerseys, including Malcolm Reed for the Eagles. And so it's going to bring up 2nd and 5.
The strength of Howard University, their offensive unit, is their running backs. Jared Hunter and Eden James, one of the best 1-2 punches you're going to find out there. Each of them can hurt you in their own special way.
Hunter remains in the backfield, shifts to the right of Scroggins. He's looking, the pass, and too tall and through the hands of Jared Hunter, and it's incomplete. 3rd and 5. So with Scroggins, started a couple of games to begin this season, then missed a handful because of injury. Back into the fold now. And they like some of the things that they've seen from this youngster. They'll like if he can convert on this 3rd down. Got to get to the 45. Scroggins with time, and then the pressure comes, and he's brought down. That's Jaden Taylor, the dude for North Carolina Central, originally from Durham. And the sack, loss of 11.
Yeah, from his interior line position, you'll see he continues to fight and wins his battle against Josiah Chenault, the center. Good job of keeping the motor going. North Carolina Central has a very active defensive front. They make an impact here early in this game with the sack.
Jaden Taylor forcing the punting unit to come on for Howard. Jaden Green back to punt it away. Markel Quick standing at his own 26-yard line. It's up. Good punt, and Quick calls for the fair catch at the 31-yard line. We'll step aside here from Durham. Come back with us to see what the Eagles can do. Well, this was last year, November 11th, 2023, and it was the Howard Bison who pretty much had a number of big plays over North Carolina Central. Jared Hunter was one of those important pieces along with Casey Hawthorne in the process. And the final in that one, 50-20, a convincing, dominating win for the Howard Bison.
But the controversy was they were up 48-20 with like a minute left, and the Bison went for 2 to kind of rub it in to get to that number 50. That did not sit well with North Carolina Central Eagle fans.
So on their second series back on the field, they start from their own 31-yard line. Walker Harris under center. Don't see that as often. Handoff to Jamari Taylor, and Jamari Taylor was stuffed. Who is it again? The All-American Kenny Gallup Jr.
That's what NFL scouts have to love about Kenny Gallup. Not afraid to mix it up at the line of scrimmage. And watch him finish off this tackle. He's engaged with somebody trying to block him, but he still makes the tackle to minimize any type of positive yardage Taylor's able to get.
Mentioned Kenny Gallup Jr., the Aeneas Williams Award winner, given to the best DB in the country. And guess what? He's a semifinalist again for it. Already has his undergrad degree, working on his graduate degree from Portsmouth, Virginia. 2nd and 10. The handoff once more to Jamari Taylor, and Taylor is wrapped up quickly, keying in on number 4 in Gray, all-important understanding, just the dynamic running ability, as Robert Jones III was there to stop him.
I think if you're offensive coordinator that way, you take your chances. You want Jamari Taylor to touch the ball at least twice per series, and then hope Walker Harris can complete a pass on 3rd down with his arm to stay on the field. Walker Harris is very much a rhythm passer. Gets the most out of his pre-snap read. If he's throwing on rhythm, very effective. If he has to go to a secondary read, struggles sometimes.
Quickly out of the hands and finds Jamari Taylor on the opposite side, and then stuck afterward. The big hit delivered by Jay Augustus Ullage. They call him Gus, with 16 yards. And Taylor comes up popping saying, we got that first down though.
Yeah, look at the rhythm. 1, 2, 3, knew where he was going with the football, get the ball to Jamari Taylor earlier, and then a great running back like Taylor knows how to finish off a run, a la Walter Payton style. Look at this. He's going to deliver that ball.
That's what Jamari Taylor did. You remember in the Celebration Bowl, he did a little something, or his partner, Ricky Collier, did a little something like that. Damaging blows from central running backs over the years. Walker Harris looking, has time, steps up, and has Taylor in the flat. Nobody around him. It's a foot race down the sideline. And Noah Miles pushes him out of bounds. 21-yard pickup there. Great improvisation there from Walker Harris to keep the play alive.
It was a big play, but had he located Taylor just a second early, take a look at Taylor at the top of the screen. He's open. If you get it to him right now, oh, he's going to run all day. Instead, he had to just flip the pass out there. Still an explosive play for this offense. They were that close to having a touchdown.
So moving the ball, marching further and further into Bison territory. First down from the Howard 28-yard line. 1-on-1. The pass incomplete. Chauncey Spikes was the intended target.
This is how you can get yourself in trouble. I know you see the one-on-one matchup. You want to try and attack Augustus Ullage, but one thing Howard University does well on defense, they play good man-to-man coverage in the secondary. So the times where you think, oh, I've got one-on-one, well, Howard wants you to go after the one-on-one because they have faith in their secondary defensive backs.
Defensive coordinator Troy Douglas trusts that back end. You're on 2nd down. Harris looking, gunning. Markel Quick was in the end zone, but the pass incomplete. Carson Hinton was on the coverage, and Walker Harris took a look after he let that one go.
Like you said, initial read's not there, looking for a secondary read. What you can do when you've got so many defensive backs that are good covering man-to-man, you can blitz your linebacker. In that case, it was Judah McKempsey able to get a hit with Walker Harris.
The Eagles looking to the sideline. Call the play in.
The Bison secondary dropped that far back. You can't be afraid to throw the ball underneath coverage and hit somebody in stride and let them run for the yard.
We'll just give it to Jamari Taylor, and Taylor can do all that he needs to do as Jamari Taylor inside the 10. Brought down by Robert Jones III after a pickup of 22 yards.
Excellent especially in play selection. They're that deep. Get it to your playmaker with an entourage of blockers. His vision is going to set up the rest of this run. Very difficult to bring down. He seems like he's running with a purpose tonight.
Jamari Taylor is that guy, not only an outstanding running back, but great hands out of the backfield as well. Look at the success that North Carolina Central has had inside the red zone. First and goal, 42
Wildcat formation with Taylor.
Tries. Yeah, here comes Taylor. Trying to set up some blocking for him. And not fooled by that. Jay, in today's college football, does the Wildcat formation work as much anymore?
Defenses have gotten used to it a little bit, but I always go back to you put Walker Harris out there, your quarterback, you flex him out as wide receiver. I had a coach in Texas tell me, hey, I don't care if that receiver's got one arm. If he's out there, you have to put somebody out there to account for him. So it's all about winning the numbers game in the box. You can have an extra runner in there, used to running in between the tackles. It can be effective, but it still comes with the offensive line's push.
Well, so far this drive has been all Jamari Taylor. He gets a breather. Chris Mosley in the backfield. Second and goal. The pitch to Mosley. Tries to get to the edge. And a flag comes out in the process. Great open field tackle also made by Carson in the process.
You see a sweep and a flag on the offensive line. Probably a holding on the right side of the offensive line.
It goes against the tight end, Kyle Morgan, so that backs him up 10 yards.
I'm curious about this. So, thought they might have thought about declining the penalty since it was a negative yardage play and making it third down, but now you're essentially giving a very potent offense 2 shots at getting into the end zone.
Well, we said at the open, putting up about 35 points a game. Great success they've had in the red zone thus far this season. Pushed back a little bit further. Walker Harris looking to the outside and overthrows his man. Harris goes down as he lets it fly. It's now third and goal.
Great coverage by who else? Kenny Gallup. Showing you the ability to stop the run and also play great man-to-man coverage. He has been all over the field. It's just the first quarter.
The MEAC Defensive Player of the Year from a season ago, making a strong case to potentially win it in back-to-back seasons. So from the Howard 22, they were inside the 10-yard line, backed up by a penalty here on third and goal. Harris with time, looking down the field, and incomplete. For the punting unit, rather the kicking unit, going to come on and attempt this field goal. Juan Velarde, a veteran in this group. And North Carolina Central, who moves the ball well down the field. Really, Jamari Taylor set all of that up. And let's see if they can at least net points out of this one. This field goal from 34 yards out from Velarde. And that one is blocked. Blocked by the Bison, scooped up by Kenny Gallup Jr. But great special teams play. He had an opportunity to return that one. He knows it. All over the field for the Bison, Kenny Gallup Jr. But hey, how about Robert Jones III saying, let me get my hand on it. Blocks it. Nothing. North Carolina Central. Out of the way, because, you know, you're the grill master.
Let me commentate on that. Let me
Go
get
ahead.
a play-by-play. Did you see the ribs? Did you see the smoked chicken there? And the full corn on the cob stalks with the potatoes in the back? People don't know potatoes on the grill are awesome. The smoke and that steam comes out. They know what they're doing in North Carolina. North Carolina barbecue is not overrated.
You got excited about that when Larry Scott, the head coach in his 5th season with the Howard Bison, has to be pleased after that last series defensively. Special teams comes up with a block, and his offense gets underway again. Jarrett Hunter, the preseason offensive player of the year in the conference, and we saw him have success so far in this game. Jay, do you want to see more of him?
Absolutely. Until the other team show that they can stop him, then you keep running the football with him. So he's got 2 carries now. The first carry he gained 5 yards. This one on first down he gained 4 yards. Keep giving him the football. I'd rather see him touch it at least twice a series rather than seeing 2 passes go incomplete.
Isaiah Williams down in the slot. Look at him, 0 and white. That one batted down by Malcolm Reed. Reed right there in the face of Scroggins. And so that's going to bring up 3rd and 6. The junior out of Raleigh, North Carolina.
See him coming off the edge. He's coming in on a run-stopping blitz, but he sees it. It's just an RPO. Leaves his feet, gets the pass deflection. This is what we talk about. Now it's 3rd and 6, right? And good possibility if they don't get this first down that Jarrett Hunter, one of your future players, only touched the ball once.
He's at the top of your screen in the slot. Is Hunter. And Scroggins takes off, has a lane, and gets down. And just about a yard short of the marker. Ja'Kai Brevard with the stop. And so that's going to bring up 4th and 1. Coach Larry Scott looks like he's confident with his offense to stay on the field and potentially go for it here on 4th and 1. They haven't had success this season, about 42% conversion rate. This is going to be close depending upon the spot, and I'm not sure.
I thought that was a great job by the North Carolina Central front 7. They did not allow Hunter to get his momentum going that way. One judge marked him, one close to us marked him short. The other judge at the top of the field seemed to be a little bit more generous.
But judging by the spot on the field, as I think they're going to measure this one, Jay, it appears that Hunter is going to be short.
It's a good surge. Great job by Jackson Brevard, number 45. Beating them in the holes, they like to say in the old Pop Warner days.
Brevard is one of those guys who's just always in the mix. And we talked with Trey Oliver just about the senior out of Southern High School here in Durham. And well short of the first down marker. And so a turnover on downs, and Trey Oliver's crew gets the ball back with great field position.
And a good team can make you pay that type of situation. I can understand how University coach Larry Scott rolling the dice in that situation.
Result of the play, short of the first down, Howard. First down, North Carolina Central.
So that might justify why they let the go back up. But now, unfortunately for Howard University, probably some consequences.
Jay, interestingly enough, these are 2 of the most tenured coaches at their schools in the conference. Both been at their institutions for 5 seasons. Trey Oliver on the left, an alumnus of North Carolina Central. You think about Chennis Berry, Lee Hull coming in their first season. Dawson Odoms, 4 years at Norfolk State. And Chris Mosley, who's popped backwards. Terrence Holland, who's a thumper, an all-conference performer, and a leader within that front 7. Boy, he is fun to watch.
Fun to watch, and he just loves football. You see the smile. This is coming from your inside linebacker, tracking it down. And he was there. Kenny Gallup had his back in case he missed the tackle. But those 2 right there, they've been fun to watch throughout their career. And Holland's a guy that just loves to run around and hit people.
It's 2nd and 10, and Matt Leone shaking things up. We saw a steady dose of Jamari Taylor to start this game. Now Chris Mosley in. Walker Harris looking. First completion to a receiver. And getting away is Chance Peterson. And Peterson loses the football. It's in the end zone. Who picks it up? And it looks like, I'm not sure. Howard's saying they come up. And Terrence Holland, just as we said, fun to watch.
Result of the play is a catch, run, and fumble. Recovered by Howard. First down.
What a wild play. I mean, this is a great read by Walker Harris to find Chance Peterson open late. He's running away with it, but just does not do a good job of celebrating, protecting the football. Great job by Xavier Rubio to knock that ball out. Big play for the Bison defense. We're still scoreless here in Durham.
Fine Nine always likes to show off, and when you hear George Clinton's Atomic Dog, you know the purple and gold, the minimum Omega Psi-Phi are going to be stepping. Jayshon Scroggins has an open man, and the catch hauled in. Keontae Mosley, the freshman tight end, with a 24-yard reception. So coming up after that huge turnover forced by Howard, now a big nice play for the Bison.
One of those 50-50 balls. Max Euro, the linebacker, on his back turn. Great concentration by the freshman, Keontae Mosley, to hold on to the football and secure the catch.
Both completions for Jayshon Scroggins have been for 20 yards or more. Now with the 45 of the Bison, they hand it off. First time we're seeing Eden James. James, the junior out of Port St. Lucie, picks up one. You talked about the great backfield and the runners that they have for Howard. Yes, Jared Hunter, the experienced one, but Eden James, who has always been that guy who's waiting in the wings, and he can take flight at any time.
The son of Pro Football Hall of Famer Edgerrin James, he's a home run hitter. He's a guy that can absolutely make you miss in the open field. Sneaky and deceptive speed.
Quick flick out to Casey Hawthorne. Hawthorne, a good gain there on 2nd and 9, so it's going to bring up 3rd and manageable on 3.
Casey Hawthorne, a super athletic wide receiver, more like a running back playing wide receiver position. You can give him the ball short and make a catch. Can make guys miss, really runs hard like a running back. They also use him in the wildcat formation as well.
The Bison on the 49 of North Carolina Central, looking to convert their first 3rd down of the night. Got to get to the 45. And who jumped first is the question. It's likely going to go against Howard.
Snap infraction. Offense. Number 75. 5-yard penalty. Mays 30.
Going against Josiah Chenault, the center. First penalty for Howard. So it backs him up. And those are the type of penalties that hurt you if you're head coach Larry Scott, understanding only 4 yards to gain here now. You got to pick up 9. And Jayshon Scroggins come up with another big throw. Juju Williams was untouched, but gets it away to Casey Hawthorne, and Hawthorne is going to be short. Picks up 5 yards. Max Urin on the play, and then there's a penalty back at the 35-yard line in the area where Jayshon Scroggins is standing.
Normally you don't see roughing the passer, but
99. Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense. Number 99. 15-yard penalties added to the end of the run.
That goes against Juju Williams, who was given pursuit. He was coming off the edge untouched anyway.
It's kind of hard to, you normally don't see roughing the passer called on screen plays because you kind of know they're trying to set you up. It's very much a mental error by Juju Williams.
Williams, a newcomer to this Carolina Central program.
Oh, that's a big penalty. Allows Howard to stay on the field with their offense.
And the pursuit given, Ja'Kai Bavard.
This is another one.
At the end.
Guess who? Juju Williams. What is he doing? I mean, this is a cheap shot, defensive player on the ground, a quarterback. And you'll see at the end of the run, when he's on the ground, Juju Williams will go and dive on top of the quarterback. Maybe get away with it with the running back, gets a quarterback, never. 15-yard penalty. And
Williams standing on the sideline with Trey Oliver.
After the play, personal foul, late hit with targeting, number 99. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. Ruling on the field of targeting is under review.
Speed, I saw it occur. He definitely dove, and did he dip that head as well? If they kicked him out for targeting, I would go for that, because it's not the crown of the helmet, but there's a lunge. He's leading with the shoulder towards the helmet on a defenseless player.
On a defenseless player, we had some fun targeting conversations last night, and one of the officials said, hey, look, when you're looking at the rule book 914, and we're talking about a defenseless player, Juju Williams saw Scroggins was down, gave himself up at the end of the play, so yes, defenseless for sure, and it feels like a launch.
There was a launch with a blow.
Another indicator.
To the head, to the helmet, so I would be surprised if they overturned this call. The call should stand.
And just looking at the body language of Trey Oliver, I mean, we saw it at the start of the game, how chippy it could be. And no love lost between these two teams, right? I mean, just coming in, understanding the recent history between these two.
He's probably frustrated because his team should be up 10-0. They've left points on the board. The fumble, going into the end zone by Peterson.
The ruling on the field of targeting has been reversed. The late hit will be enforced 15 yards. Number 99 may remain in the game. First down.
We'll keep the penalty for the late hit. They're going to say this is not target. Last night when
we saw a play that was targeted last night. So either way, two key penalties against North Carolina Central. Juju Williams in particular now has the ball in the red zone for Howard after back-to-back personal fouls. So Larry Scott wants to see this offensive unit capitalize and take advantage here, get first points on the board. It's Casey Hawthorne out of the Wildcat to that left side, and Hawthorne picks up about 2 or 3 on the play.
Well, this is something that if Howard can hang in there, I don't think Central expected Howard to be in this ball game in the first quarter. 0-0. There's a lot of pride for North Carolina Central trying to prove a point because of the mistakes. Howard University has an opportunity to take the lead going into the second quarter.
It's Cyrus, Wilson in motion, all 3 wide receivers to the bottom of your screen. Scroggins looking. And the pass incomplete, tough throw. Catch would have been made if Mosley could have hauled it in. Malcolm Reed was on the coverage.
This is one as you get better. You got to give him a chance. You have to keep that ball in place where he can jump and possibly get the pass interference, or what they call the 50-50 ball, making a jump ball. As we always say, Sammy Sideline doesn't miss tackles.
Scroggins so far tonight, 4 of 7, 55 yards. Just looking to try to pick up a first down. Scroggins looking. And another throw out of bounds. Incomplete in the direction of Isaiah Williams.
Another repeat performance. I said Sammy Sideline doesn't miss tackles. Defensive backs know that. They try to pin wide receivers on the sideline, pushing to throw the ball out of bounds.
So Dylan West is coming on to attempt a 36-yard field goal after a couple of incompletions from Scroggins, but Bison have an opportunity to get first points of the game. The kick is up, oh, good, and it is through. So Howard's special teams and defense have played well so far, coming out of that drive with a field goal as Larry Scott's crew is up 3-0 with 9 seconds to go in the first. This will be interesting to continue to see how each team makes the adjustment, but it was Central turned over the football after that Chance Peterson fumble. Touchback gave Howard the opportunity to get the ball. 9 plays, 62 yards, just over 4 minutes, and the Showtime marching band who made the trip from our nation's capital to be here for this MEAC game. And
give him a little love. Give him a proper introduction. I hear you describe all these other bands. Say, making the trip from the nation's capital, ladies and gentlemen, it's Showtime marching band.
Jay, that's your job, you see? That's your job. Also your job to tell us about the top teams within HBCU football. I'm going to look to hear later in this broadcast who you've got in your power rankings. That's a little tease for next quarter when you reveal them to our viewing audience.
And I don't miss too often. I've been pretty accurate.
I'm curious to know, is Central in the mix?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
But the top 5 team is on the ropes right now. I mean, down 3-0, but something's just not right. You can't allow Howard to hang around.
We start here from the 35. 9 seconds to go in the quarter. Walker Harris has Jamari Taylor and threw it kind of behind him. He had him all the way. The catch made, yes, but there was more real estate ahead of him. 13-yard gain, and that takes us to the close of the opening quarter.
We've seen a lot of action here.
That is the end
defense made some plays.
of the first quarter.
Central defense as well, but through it all, it's Howard up 3-0 after 1.
Welcome back to ESPN College Football, presented by McDonald's. Jay Walker, Tiffany Green here with you from O'Kelly Riddick Stadium in Durham. They're currently under review of that last play as Walker Harris.
Help me out.
Okay, wait a minute. With the completion as it stands on the field to Jamari Taylor.
But this happened 3 minutes ago. I mean, just a little common sense.
After review, the ruling on the field stands as a completed catch.
They're announcing it's a catch, but I was just like a little common courtesy a little bit. They are going to confirm the catch, but I have to pick on the officials a little bit.
Jay.
Replay booth included.
Jay. Don't do such things. I'll tell you this, Jamari Taylor has been the guy. Tonight, 82 of 111 yards for North Carolina Central have come by way of Taylor.
Absolutely.
Whether it's out of the backfield, catching passes, 5 touches.
He's as good as advertising. I really like how they find ways to get him football. You know, we talked about it in the open, how it can hurt you from behind the line, standing that the conference winners for the Power 4 are going to get the buys. But let's get this thing right. How about the conference winners get in? We're sure that they get in. Oregon is the current leader of the Big Ten with that victory over Ohio State. But they're going to keep tweaking this.
Harris's pass, incomplete.
They've been able to move the football, North Carolina Central, but have not been able to get points on the scoreboard. A little bit of a surprise. We're talking, that's 13 points they've left out there.
And all things are in their favor. 157 yards gained thus far. They've from an average drive from their own 38-yard line, but have not been able to net any points thus far in this one. Taylor on that left side, Tries to get away, but Carson Hinton makes an excellent shoestring tackle to hold Jamari Taylor.
Good tackle against a very good running back. You see them going back and forth a little bit. He set him up nicely, gave him that dead leg, but Hinton able to get just enough to trip him up.
Brings up 3rd and 9 from the Eagles on 35.
They throw the ball here. Watch Taylor trying to sneak out of the backfield. From this alignment, Howard does not have anybody to cover him unless they drop their defensive end in the coverage.
Big number 91, Noah Miles in his space, but gets it away. Markel Quick with the reception, and then the penalty marker back at the 25-yard line in the area of roughing the passer. So an opportunity to tack on more after that reception of 43 yards.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 0. That penalty enforced at the end of the run. Automatic first down.
How about the job by Walker Harris going through his progressions, middle of the field open, knows he's going to get hit. Just gets the ball up there to allow his wide receiver, Markel Quick, an opportunity to make a play for the Eagle offense.
And Markel Quick, who is being one of those guys who's just hurt secondaries. Kenny Gallup was in the face of Walker Harris. He was called for that personal foul. So it's 1st and 10 from the Bison 11-yard line. Jamari Taylor. And Robert Jones with a collision course there. It's going to bring up 2nd down, so they can still pick up another 1st down here. It's going to bring up 2nd and 6.
Seems like we've been here before, right? North Carolina Central in scoring position, and we're wondering, are they going to settle for a field goal attempt or get the ball into the end zone?
Remember, they fumbled the ball deep in their own territory on the other side of the field back in the 1st quarter. A couple of blocked field goals as well. Harris has a man in the back of the end zone and just out of reach of Chauncey Spikes. Well, it was there. He was open. He just missed him.
I mean, throwing the ball out the backside of the end zone, he had enough room to put the ball right on him. Moving, quarterbacks on the road. Pocket passers normally lose their accuracy a little bit when you take them outside of the pocket. But a missed opportunity for a touchdown. Walker Harris, the quarterback, wish he had that throw back for sure.
Harris looking to his right the entire time, and Robert Jones is right there with Luke Bracey, and then the pop afterward, pickup of 2. Now what do you do here, Jay? You've had 2 field goals blocked, okay? It's 4th down. You need to get to the 1-yard line, and you can pick up a 1st down. If you're Matt Leone, what do you draw? What do you do?
Yeah, they're a little upset, and I think you trust Walker Harris with the true RPO. If you get a look at what you can utilize, Jamari Taylor, you go for it. Try a hard count first, though.
They give it to Jamari Taylor and just a run to the right, and that one not enough blocking as Howard's defense holds again. Ish Abdul Ali tracks him down.
Nowhere to go. Can't question them giving the ball to their best player, but so far this Bison defense has solidified the bend but don't break mentality.
Let's go!
A berth in the SWAC championship with the victory this weekend.
Scroggins and the Bison offense backed up deep into their own territory, trying to get a little bit of breathing room. The pass complete to Casey Hawthorne out to about the 11-yard line. The question here for this Howard team is, can they drive the length of the field and try to get some more points? They've had success at points in moving the football, as Eden James with the carry. James brought down by Malcolm Reed, so that's going to bring up 3rd and 3.
And how you finish the half is so important in college football. I think Howard's gotten the respect of South Carolina State. Think about it. This is a team where South Carolina State came with plenty of confidence. Howard disappointing. But North Carolina Central, pardon me. But frustrating Coach Oliver. And right now, if you can increase your lead going into the half, I believe that the Eagles would be shell-shocked going into that locker room.
That one jumped, almost intercepted by Cole Jones. And tonight, 3rd down conversions have not been a friend to Howard. They've not been able to keep drives alive by moving the chains in terms of converting on 3rd downs. And there, lucky that one wasn't picked off.
Yes, poor location with the football. Think about it. I mean, just imagine this. I mean, I'm trying to figure this out myself. Howard scored 50 on these guys last year. 50. Now they're winning 3-zip, but nowhere close to that 50.
Quick standing at his own 50, or at the 50-yard line. It's Darrell Taylor who watches that one roll quick in the area. And a 58-yard punt from Jaden Green. So now here comes North Carolina Central. When you think about Howard, who made a trip to the Cricket Celebration Bowl last year, representing the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. The year prior to that, in 2022, it was North Carolina Central. And when they played back in 2022, it was 50-21 here in Durham. Well, obviously, you're trading back and forth, but Howard's trying to pick up a win here in Durham for the first time since 1994. It's been a series that's been controlled by North Carolina Central throughout their meetings.
And this would be the signature win for Howard University this season if they're able to hold on and get a victory.
A couple yards on that game as Judah Gypsy with the tackle. So Jamari Taylor, who again has been the primary offense tonight for North Carolina Central. Outside of that big catch from Markel Quick. Long throw first time tonight as Joaquin Davis hauls in the catch, and that takes us to the 2-minute timeout. So we will step aside as well.
This is the 2-minute
Trey Oliver will hope to see his group try to get into the end zone, or at least get some points before going into the locker room.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. Check it out.
The old Fumble-Rooski.
Or you can bundle home and auto and save money. The old
Dan Mullen, Tennessee, Georgia preview, along with can Colorado make the Big 12 championship. You'll find that all coming up. The All-State halftime report. Well, Colorado, after that dramatic comeback against Texas Tech, only finds themselves, what, 1 game back from BYU?
Yeah. So they've got to take care of Utah first, and they got some Kansas action there. But what a job Coach Prime has done. We saw him here at the HBCU level, knew he was on to something. He's got a special recipe.
Special recipe as Chauncey Spikes almost hauled that one in. One-on-one coverage with Gus Olich. Couldn't bring it in.
Able to get behind him, and that's one that Spikes. Really good wide receiver, deep threat for North Carolina Central. Normally comes away with as they continue to pick on Olich in one-on-one coverage.
Second and 10 from NCCU 40. Walker Harris feeling some pressure, trying to avoid, gets down. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 9. 3 timeouts remaining for Central. The same for Howard as they just spent their first
timeout
of the half.
The 32nd timeout.
So an opportunity to potentially get the ball back if you're Larry Scott's team.
And this becomes a big play because you almost get the feeling like if Central is able to convert on this 3rd down, then they may get some momentum and score some points and take the lead or tie the game up going into the locker room. And if you're Howard, you call the timeout thinking you're going to stop him. So if you don't stop him, it could hurt you. But I like the fact that Coach Scott trying to be a little bit aggressive, like having some faith, calling a timeout, thinking he wants to get some more points before the half as well. Central really needs a wide receiver to step up and make a play.
And throughout the season, it's been number 6, Markel Quick, who has been their guy. Also, Joaquin Davis. So 6 to the top of your screen, Joaquin Davis, one-on-one coverage to the bottom of your screen. And they target Joaquin Davis, and there he is. So makes the catch, 1st down, moves the chains after that pickup of 15.
And just on the little skinny post, he sees the safety going the opposite way. That's where you go, behind the safety. Nice play.
Moving quickly after that 1st down. And another one, as that's incomplete. Chauncey Spikes. Again, not able to haul it in.
Spikes is not having a normal day. That's a catchable ball there. It's an out route. Was able to get open. Thrown a little bit low, but you've got that one-on-one matchup, and obviously they've scouted that. To attack number 32. Ball comes your way, you expect to make that catch.
Central is going to spin
North Carolina Central.
their first turn timeout.
This is a 32nd timeout.
Well, next week, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman will be in Dallas at AT&T Stadium for our Week 11 Monday Night Football match at the Lone Star Stadium.
No. Do you think Larry Scott from Howard expected a 3-0 ball game?
In fact, I'm not sure if either of these fans expected this outcome to this point, but hey, give credit to the Bison defense for pitching a shutout up into this point, a couple of blocked field goals, and even though Central has had chances and has moved the football, they've not been able to put up any points. Joaquin Davis once more in the middle of the field, and they're going to move quickly. It's 2 yards short of the 1st down.
Get it moving, hand the ball off right now because the clock is still running because the 1st down picked up.
Again, steady dose of 88 and gray, Joaquin Davis. Also a Durham native, top returning receiver, gain of 6. First set of downs. Davis takes a breather for the time being. From the Bison 29, coming across, that's Jamari Taylor. Good tackle there by Terrence Holland. Holland just
timeout.
is all
North
over
Carolina
the field.
Central. That is their second
Howard
timeout.
and this defense, and Jamari Taylor coming up limping, and that's not a good sign. Taylor has been the primary threat on offense here tonight. So a timeout taken on the field. He'll get some attention on the sideline. Central has 1 timeout remaining, 39 seconds to go in the half. And Jay, with Jamari Taylor potentially out for at least this next play, who do you get the ball to? Joaquin Davis has kind of been hot on this drive.
Davis is doing it. Let's go back and take a look at the play with Taylor. They had him isolated one-on-one versus Terrence Howard. That's the matchup that you want. And at the end of the tackle, not able to separate kind of gets rolled around and twisted around, and hopefully he's able to come back to the game for the Eagles.
So Chris Mosley takes his place in the ball game. And Harris again through the hands of Markel Quick, who was open. So now it's 3rd and 5. And that one, you know, Quick would want to have back because Walker Harris delivered it where it needed to be.
Absolutely. What is, besides Jamari Taylor, like, who's clicking for North Carolina Central? We've seen Spikes miss a couple. Quick just dropped one. Harris has missed a couple throws. They just taking turns making mistakes.
And the other threat, Joaquin Davis, number 88, not on the field right now for North Carolina Central. Showing blitz, dropping back into coverage. Walker Harris throws off of 1 foot and the pass incomplete. So now 4th and 5, but a flag is out. So let's see who that one goes against.
Personal foul. Late hit, 99 of the defense. That penalty forced half the distance to goal.
Whoa, that is a huge penalty by Derek Brown Jr. Larry Scott asking, what in the world were you thinking? We had him, we stopped him on 3rd down. And unnecessarily pushing him down. So we have seen a number of roughing the passer penalties in this one. 1st and 10 now for North Carolina Central. They're looking to punch it into the end zone. The man coming across, and that's Chris Mosley who walks into the end zone. From 12 yards out, and finally, the Eagles get on the board.
Well, the blitz is coming, and they want you to blitz. And the moment number 11, it's coming up to blitz from that safety position, Kendrick Green. Watch 11. He decides, I'm going after the quarterback instead of covering Mosley. There's nobody else responsible for him out there. That's an error by the safety. You're supposed to blitz and then peel off.
Another one. Blocked PAT. 2 blocked field goals and a blocked PAT. And so that's something that Trey Oliver, who cares very much about special teams as a former punter here at North Carolina Central, wants to shore up in the second half.
Yeah, and you make it just a field goal game, which is nothing scary. A little disappointing. You're happy you scored the touchdown. You're thinking you're going to go up by 4 points. Now it's just a 3-point lead going into the locker room. However, the offense finally showing some signs of life.
And Jay, this has been an entertaining first half from Durham.
See a little bit of everything. More disappointing, I believe, for North Carolina Central to only be up by 3, considering the special teams mishaps that they've had.
And this is a group that scores like 35, averages 35 points a game.
Over 200 yards of total offense in the first half, and 6 points to show for it.
Swift kick down the middle. Picked up, and Howard's going to get a return here. So with 19 seconds, 18 seconds on the clock, Howard will get the ball back to start the second half.
With a decent return, starting around the 39-yard line. Only because your quarterback is young and inexperienced, I'd be more conservative. But if they give you an easy throw, don't be afraid to take it, then try and set up maybe a Hail Mary shot to the end zone. You can pick up about 20 yards.
Scroggins looking underneath. Jared Hunter with the reception. a trio there, and that will likely be the last play of the first half. 6-3 ball game going into the locker room. Central scores a late touchdown to take the lead. Howard, who really helped to control things and keep North Carolina Central at bay thanks to some great special teams play. Despite the fact they gave up 265 total yards of offense in that first half. Conversations will be had with Larry Scott and his team, along with Trey Oliver and his group going into the locker room. And Coach Oliver, who is kind enough to join us now on the field. And Coach, very much unorthodox for what we've seen from North Carolina Central all season long. How would you sum up that first half?
You hit the nail on the head. Unorthodox. I mean, we're getting the ball inside the red zone, and we got to come away with points. We got, 3 field goals, 2 field goals, and extra point block. We got to be able to execute. But we're going to come in here and go in the locker room, get this thing correct, and we're going to be a different football team coming out.
What's your message going to be when you go into the locker room? What are you going to tell those guys right now in the locker room?
Just play football. Just play football. That's it, man. We got to do a better job of executing. Just 1, 2 little things will get cleaned up. Obviously, the protection on field goal, but a lot of stuff out there I think is open in the passing game, and Walker's got a hit. He's missing some wide open receivers, but we're going to get it corrected.
Are they doing anything that you didn't expect to surprise you?
No, we knew they were going to play a lot of man, and I think our guys, we got some receivers. Our receivers getting open. We got to get the ball to them.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. We appreciate the time.
Yep, thank you, guys.
So a lot to get cleaned up, according to head coach Trey Oliver, the North Carolina Central Eagles, but his group on Arkansas, then
They're setting up.
in the playoff. That's question mark. Well, Isaiah Williams, who came up with the interception off the fake punt, go right back to Agent 0 for the Bison. A loss of 1. The pass to Isaiah Williams. So 2nd and 11. You know, how are you going to jumpstart this offense if you're Larry Scott, play caller for the Bison?
That's been the answer. You say run the ball more, but they haven't been able to do that. They're not committed to the run.
Scroggins just lets it go as he's hit falling to the ground. Christian Smith
was in the area.
Xavier
Incomplete
Fields
pass.
Here with the push. And so now 3rd and 11 here.
I think the question becomes, why aren't they able to put points on the board to move it? And it's just the defensive line. And for North Carolina Central, those guys are getting after the quarterback. The only offense that Howard really had been the explosive play when they can get to the secondary, when guys can get open downfield. But other than that, I think they need to shore up their protection more, maybe keep somebody in the backfield to block so Scroggins can feel comfortable in the pocket.
Indeed, Hunter tries to pick up. The man has one down the field. Casey Hawthorne tried to come back and get it, but unable to hang on. Jalen Bowden on the coverage.
They brought the inside linebackers on the blitz, leaving the cornerbacks one-on-one. Hawthorne's such a good athlete. He's very capable of making that catch. But Bowden able to disrupt it just enough to force the punt.
NCCU sound machine. Trying to make it difficult for Howard punting unit to beer. That one high, handled by Green. Gets off the punt, bounces, and Quick just lets it roll. Down at the 24-yard line, that's where the Eagles will start their next drive. Come back with us to Norm.
From the dawn of time,
There's some fried, some chicken on the grill, of course the ends. Oh, I love the little mini drum major right there. Of course, the Divine Nine. How about the Showtime Marching Band, NCCU Sound Machine? Great sights and sounds from around O'Kelly Riddick Stadium. Jay?
I like the fact both bands are here. I mean, I think
Yes.
that should be something like for all conference games, your band goes. And that's the college football atmosphere that people want to see. Good hats off to both of them for creating a pretty good and festive environment here for this college football game. Friday night.
Well, both
Friday night
fans,
in high
please
school football,
refrain
obviously.
from playing
Big around
when the opposition is on offense.
Shout out to the Howard University
well, both
women's soccer
fans,
team.
please refrain
the
from
conference
playing
championship and
when the opposition
the NEC
is on offense.
taking on Duke in the first round here in Durham. So Bison had reason to travel south, come into RDU.
For multiple reasons. Oh, it's a research triangle. Both bands battling each other right now.
The level of disrespect.
First and 10 for the 24. Pass complete to Mekhi Wall. Wall who picks up the first down. And you talked about Walker Harris being a rhythm passer. How can Matt Leone, offensive coordinator, get his quarterback back into a rhythm?
Creative formations and scheme. I mean, football, you're just really looking for what you can get off the snap. Whatever you can get before the snap. So maybe you take some formation, you shift some guys, you move them in motion, anticipating that he's going to get the clue that he needs to know where he's going with the football sooner.
Jamari Taylor, who bounces it to the outside. Taylor, who turns on the speed. The 30, 20, 10. Nobody's catching Jamari Taylor. I see you, dude. 61 yards to the house for Taylor. That's all the rhythm and flow you need right there is number 4, Jamari Taylor.
Fantastic vision, but also look at number 70, left side of your screen, not holding. So that's a good job of releasing the jersey. That's Taron Williams. So often that we would have seen the tug and they would have thrown the flag, but he did a good job of sealing the edge and then releasing the jersey. And as we said, great running backs are going to bounce to daylight and make you pay.
The extra point is up and through.
They made a kick, too.
They made one finally tonight. Trey Oliver said things were going to turn around in this second half.
Give the ball to your playmakers, and the great running backs, they don't just hit you for big runs, they hit you for home runs. My football players dancing when we're in a 10-point game.
I mean, I feel you, but you've got to find a way to turn things around for yourself. I mean, the first half, you want to erase that if you're North Carolina Central. You walked into the locker room with a 6-point lead, but there were a lot of blunders in the process. There was an effective drive down the field for 2 plays and 46 yards. I mean,
Jamari Taylor wants to dance. He can dance. He can do the end zone celebration.
On the return, here's Anthony Reagan. Reagan, who is pop. And then again, a little bit of extracurricular. Every time they get near each other's sidelines, you have to keep an eye out. I do like to dance.
Okay, so if your team is down by 21 points and you score a touchdown, yes or no, do you celebrate?
No.
Okay. I don't believe you would do that. You say no.
I'm just saying.
You would be the first one to try and do some dance in the end zone to celebrate.
But sometimes you do have to allow that leeway for your 17 and 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds these days to find that extra gear or energy that you need to try to build upon what you've done. Meanwhile, Howard, their offense has been relatively anemic thus far in this ball game.
And what's the identity of it? Normally you can have an identity. For Central, it's Jamari Taylor, makes everything else go. Who makes it go for Howard? I think it should be the running backs, but they're going against a very stout defensive line, and they have not shown the commitment to running the ball. And even if you don't hand it off to the running backs, then use Scroggins' legs a little bit more. So often we've seen them run the ball on first down, then come out and throw the ball 2 consecutive times, and that has not been effective.
And when we saw them last weekend against South Carolina State, this was a team that came in leading the conference in rushing yards. They average 174. It's been a mixture, as you mentioned, of both Scroggins and James, along with punter. And there, the pressure in the face, Matt Lavelle was right there. And Scroggins was knocked down. It's going to bring up third.
There's no foul for intentional grounding.
Something
number 85 was in the area. Incomplete pass.
They're rushing, clarifying that there was a receiver in the area, so it was not intentional grounding. But you said those rushing yards were deceptive. Why?
Because the quarterback has been running. So a couple scrambles by Scroggins, not designed. He had a quarterback draw, but the rushing yard looked one way because Scroggins has been running. But what are your running backs doing? How many times are you giving the ball to your best runners on the team, which are Hunter and James? And this is a typical Howard possession. They ran the ball, and now they got to throw 2 consecutive times without your best players touching the football.
And they were bringing the heat there, the pressure up front, and brought down. That was Juju Williams. I'll make it Christian Smith.
Able to get there with a 5-man rush. Great penetration by Quantez Mansfield, number 0, to really make him leave the pocket.
And again, Jay, I know you're not necessarily going to agree with me saying this, but the energy has changed on the sideline of North Carolina Central.
Like the dance.
The dancing has seemingly worked for the Eagles out of the locker room.
I've gotten hyped up off the band before. A slow start, the band got there in the close game. It was something to get me going. And talk about getting hyped, Tiff.
Get me going. Get me going,
Give the people
Jay.
what they want. How about this? How about this week's Jay's Give Me 5?
All right, Jay. I can't wait to hear, to see what you got in store.
I'm going with my HBCU football bucket list. The bucket list. Number 5, G-Ho, greatest homecoming on earth, they say.
The Central folks don't want to hear you say
team.
nothing about that around
Tuskegee
here.
homecoming. You can watch the game during the homecoming. You got to check out the Bayou Classic. You got to check out the Magic City Classic in Birmingham. Howard Homecoming is the grand finale of them all. And on the bubble is something that's emerging. Spell House Homecoming. I like the Spellman portion of it more, but that's Spellman and Morehouse. When they get together and take over the AUC. That's the HBCU bucket list right there.
Just for the average fan is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Average fan, you need to check those events out. If you want to go anywhere in the HBC landscape, you can't go wrong going to those.
All right. Check out Tiff's 2 cents. Prairie View A&M homecoming. Since we're going to go with the homecoming theme, I mean, Prairie View, one of the beautiful campuses. You definitely got to check that
Houston,
out.
Easy to get to.
That's right.
Houston, fly there.
Okay, see, thank you for selling it for me. And then Jackson State versus Southern. They call it the Boombox Classic because of the sonic boom of the South and the human jukebox, the 2 bands for the schools. So I think you got to check out those environments because, first of all, I've never been to a Prairie View A&M homecoming. I would love to go.
Okay.
And I know you were thinking I was going to take some low-hanging fruit.
I'm proud of you.
But I'm not going to even mention it.
I'm rubbing off on you.
You just thought I was going to take some low-hanging fruit. You, on the other hand, was just like, no.
You were going to take the Florida Classic.
Let me say what I always say in a broadcast. But it's appropriate because we are covering Howard here.
Yeah. Oh, is that why I did it? Now, that is not it.
Burstington Walker Harris has a man down the seam. Step for step, Chauncey Spikes able to hold it in this time. Spikes, who had a couple of drops earlier, had no problem holding on to that one.
Who they've been picking on all night.
Gus Olich.
Right there, able to get behind him again. You like to see him go up and elevate for that ball, try and catch it, at least get the pass interference, but good concentration to hold on to it. And the problem is Spikes has been able to get behind Olich consistently all night. They've been picking on him, and it finally paid off for the Eagles.
Inside the red zone after that 43-yard reception. You see the trips to the red zone tonight for North Carolina Central. A couple of blocked field goals, 1 turnover on downs, and they were able to get a touchdown as well. Here, Chris Mosley, who's been the featured back on this drive, picks up 4 yards on the run.
Let's see, one last chance for Howard to make a stop, to make a fight. They've been bend, not break all night. We've seen Central get inside the red zone and kind of implode offensively. Let's see if defensive coordinator Troy Douglas can dial up something to disrupt the Eagle offense one more time, try and jumpstart this offense.
They've got to keep an eye on number 4 in the backfield, Jamari Taylor. Play action, rolling, and interception.
Look at that.
Coming up with it is Robert Jones III. Again, a lot of man-to-man coverage we've seen. That's the strength of this team, the secondary. They've been tested tonight, but they've also come up with plays. And here, the big INT as Central was driving.
Yeah, I mean, this is why you see quarterbacks just throw it away. Tried to force it. What a good job of playing receiver by Robert Jones, the senior from DeMatha High School in Maryland. And that's a stop. You just have to wonder, could Howard make one more stop to stop Central from getting on the scoreboard? You had that sense that it could happen. The Bison defense comes up big once again.
3 turnovers tonight for the Eagles, and so Larry Scott's team is aided from great play that he's seen both in the defense and special teams as well. Now the challenge is your defense has made a play. Can your offense make some plays on this drive? And Scroggins got to be careful deep into his end zone, and he lets it go.
That's a fumble. Oh, they're going to say incomplete.
They're going to say, I think he flicked it out just at the last second.
I call it like I see it. He was trying to get rid of that ball because he was getting ready to get sacked for safety. Now, if you're inside that tackle box, who's in the area that he's throwing it to? Okay, he tried to scoop it forward. Was that a pass? Yeah.
I just call it a flick. Look at the receiver just trying to
pass.
Yeah. He was just desperate to get it out any way that he could. That was Jarrett Hunter right there. And so that's something that he has to be mindful of. Jayshon Scroggins, they elect to run it this time to try to get a little breathing room. That's Jarrett Hunter. He picks up a couple of yards. Maybe 3 on the play.
I'm curious on that pass play. They call it the double move, the stutter go. Stutter goes take a long time to develop because you got to drop back, give him the pump fake, let him bite, then do it. I don't want to do a stutter go, but I'm backed up in my own end zone. Howard was very fortunate they didn't give up a safety.
The third downs have been an Achilles heel for this Howard offense tonight.
Surprisingly, I think that Central may still play some zone instead of going after the quarterback in this situation.
Underneath, they get it to Hunter. And Hunter is going to be a couple of yards short of the marker. So the punting unit will come on. Not able to take advantage of that interception.
Sorry, just got to point this out, Tiff. 0 third down conversions for Howard University in this game. 0. Zilch. Zippo. Nada.
I think you see that frustration that Larry Scott is wearing on the sideline because you see 3 straight 3-and-outs from your team, and you really wanted to capitalize there after your defense took a stand, took away the football with that INT. It takes a favorable North Carolina Central bounce. And Jamari Taylor, just what he has done and the yards that he's eaten up, he is single-handedly outgaining this Howard offense. 206 total yards and a touchdown for Jamari Taylor.
And they get him involved in the offense. I mean, in the passing attack, in the rushing attack, the offensive line believes in him, and they call his number. I think, I know Jared Hunter's really good, Dean James really good. They don't call their number as much. And I've seen these guys out of the backfield make catches and throws, but maybe that's the luxury that you have when you've got a quarterback like Walker Harris, who's a pocket passer first. But let's give credit to Walker Harris. I mean, this is his first year as a starting quarterback in the Division I level. Came in trying to fill big shoes, and he's had a pretty decent year this year.
Jamari Taylor, who has had an outstanding year and is certainly in the conversation for the Offensive Player of the Year. in the MEAC.
First-year starter for him as well. And that's why Central fans may be a little down because they don't control their own destiny in terms of making it to the Cricket Celebration Bowl, but they had to replace a lot of star power. Mookie Collier, Pee Wee Richard. These guys have stepped up and really done a good job. They lost a couple linemen to the transfer portal as well. Yeah, figure 8-3 is a bad season, and I'm sure every coach will take that.
Indeed, as Trey Oliver, a couple of 9-win seasons, 9-3 last year. Went to the FCS playoffs. And then 10-2 during that HBCU National Championship season in 2022.
Miss Orange and Green Queen, did you really not put the Florida Classic as a bucket list item?
Really, Jay? I told you, no low-hanging fruit, bro. Meanwhile, that brings us to the end of the third quarter, 13-3 for North Carolina Central, as the NCCU sound machine dueling with the Showtime marching machine in the handstand. Yeah, we got a good one. All right, hey, 10-point ball game. Don't go anywhere. Come back with us. In the second half, he said, look, knuck if you buck. And the way that this team has come out swinging since the locker room, yeah, they only scored a touchdown in that, but they really controlled that third quarter. And Walker Harris continues to add more. 3rd and 3 coming out of the locker room. Just to illustrate the point, the total yards gain for North Carolina Central, 163 compared to 19 for Howard. Harris right there, pass complete to Joaquin Davis. Davis picks up the first down and inside the red zone.
Repeat the record. Give me the scratch. Once again, can the Howard defense make one more stop to keep Central off the scoreboard? They've been doing a great job of when they get backed up inside the red zone, coming up with the play. North Carolina Central is 1 of 5 tonight in the red zone. Can Howard University make it 1 of 6?
And coming in, they were 88% in the red zone. So yes, credit the Howard defense, as Xavier Robio is the first to get to Jamari Taylor, loss of 1. But when they needed a play made, Carson Hinton was able to step up on the 1-yard line and haul in the interception. Xavier Robio with a tackle for a loss.
With the
Howard more plays neat like that.
With the Howard secondary being really good, I want to get Jamari Taylor one-on-one versus one of the linebackers out of the backfield. They're playing man-to-man coverage. See if you can get him isolated.
Well, he just did that little stutter step, fouled the crease, all that he needed, and Taylor is in for the touchdown. Jamari Taylor is a one-man wrecking crew tonight.
He just sees it. I mean, he sees it where there's an opportunity where the secondary level guys are. He's waiting on it, and watch him. You see how he set up number 62, Noah McKinney, waited until he made contact and engaged, and then ran up around that side. The vision is something special.
And the extra point is good. Jamari Taylor, over 1,000 yards rushed for this season. He tacked on some more right here on this TD run. JT, money, man. He has played tonight and lifted this team. I mean, it has been a heavy dose of number 4.
And he's a special ball player, and they're doing a really good job of featuring their best offensive weapon in Jamari Taylor. In the open, we said he can hurt you for more than just running the football. He was really effective in the passing game, and as the game wore on, started getting his touches running the football. His vision and balance and speed were on full display. One of the most exciting runners I've seen in a long time. Joining the guys like dare say Tariq Cohen, but edge of a seat runner like that. North Carolina, they saw it. They saw it. Mookie Collier was a good one too. Give credit to Mookie Collier, who was able to keep a guy like Jamari Taylor as his backup for those years.
And a scuffle there around the 40-yard line. Players fall to the ground. Flag comes out right after. And Jay, I have to tell you, we can't say everything that's happened, but I will say that the in-stadium DJ has a pulse on this game.
He's always been one that moves the crowd, and as you said, has a pulse with the crowd, knows how to get them on their feet.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, kicking team, number 44. 15-yard penalties added to the end of the run. That is number 44's first counter towards ejection.
You know, you can tell the DJ's got a pulse. Normally, you know, tension between band and DJ. So the bands always want to play and DJ. But here, they go hand in hand. You know, when he plays a good song, the band starts dancing and getting behind him.
That's a great observation. See right there, just as you said, Jay. Well, best starting field position of the night for Howard as Jared Hunter tries to make a man miss. And the extra effort there, the lunge forward, then a marker comes out. Flag back at in Howard territory.
Holding, offense, number 56. 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
That one against the left tackle, Cam May. And Howard just not helping itself tonight. Offensively, they've just not been able to muster enough yards. You see 108 total yards this far tonight. They're used to averaging 340 yards per game. Scroggins has a man in the pass complete to Braylon Smith, incomplete rather, to Braylon Smith.
But we talk about having an identity and some flair. Now this is something creative that I like that they're doing. Eden James and Jared Hunter were both in the game in the backfield. So the defense kind of like, okay, what are you going to do? You're going to try and take away the run? Okay, with that much star power in the backfield, you try and do that, and then you set them up to throw the ball. Incomplete pass, but they had the one-on-one coverage that they wanted. James leaves, and now they go with a more traditional lineup. But I thought something like that was creative with that personnel grouping on the field.
Scroggins gets it out. There's Jared Hunter, and Hunter was tracked down from behind by Max Urin, but right there picks up the first down.
Really good job of disguising the screen by Jared Hunter. He went to the line of scrimmage like he was looking for somebody to block, and popped outside. Nice play by the Bison.
Correct myself there. Got back to the original line of scrimmage, or just beyond it. Until now, 3rd and 9. And again, this has been a critical down for Howard tonight. 0 for 9 on 3rd downs. Can they convert here? Hunter picks up the blitzer, but then get far away from Max Urin. Urin laying the pot. 5th sack of the night for this Eagle defense.
When they vacate that spot, you have to send somebody across the field. They're blitzing both linebackers, and they're not paying any consequences for it. You see that crossing route should be wide open right in the middle of the field. But you've got Isaiah Williams running all the way across the field where the middle of the field is wide open. They're just teeing off. When you see 45 and 54 the starting inside linebackers around the quarterback, that means they're blitzing. Replace where they're blitzing from.
Tough sledding tonight for Howard's offense. Markel Quick trying to return it here. Pops off of one, and a flag flies out during the return. Well, Jay, we came in talking about how many anticipated that this game, as a flag comes out again, players walking to the sideline. Larry Scott is incensed in the process, voicing his displeasure to the referees.
Larry Scott's a pretty laid-back guy. Something has him very heated, and I think he thought there should have been a penalty called on North Carolina Central, unsportsmanlike conduct, but the official let go. He might have verbally said something. I believe he might have been the one that got flagged for that late flag that came in.
Derek Haddon, this MEAC officiating crew.
During the return, blocking in the back. Return team, number 29. That penalty enforced from the spot of the foul. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Kicking team, number 44. That penalty is also enforced 15 yards after enforcing the blocking in the back. That is number 44's first counter towards ejection. Media time.
The SEC on ABC.
We'll just, dive into that red velvet or German chocolate.
Type of cake?
Red velvet.
Really? I'm such a
pound cake.
I want yellow cake.
You want yellow cake? You have to have the chocolate icing in the middle
yellow
too.
Cake with chocolate frosting. And what's the difference between frosting and icing? Things that make you go. But I like yellow cake.
Those penalties made Trey Oliver and Larry Scott go. As the Eagles have the ball back, Walker Harris has Chris Mosley in the backfield. Harris just heaves it up and throws it right to the sideline. Now, there was nobody in the area.
That's a penalty. He's inside the tackle box and threw it away. If he was outside the tackle box, you can throw it away out of bounds as far as you want to, as long as it crosses the line of scrimmage. That is a penalty. There you go.
Intentional grounding. Offense. Number 3. Loss of down at the spot of the foul. Second down.
Well, it's going to be a loss of down. Another look at it here.
So look, he starts off on the hash mark. So he's inside the tackle box. And then he gets pressure, and he just throws it away. Well, no, if you're in between the two tackles, no matter how far back you are, you're inside the tackle box. You must throw it to somebody. Has to be in the area.
Now on 2nd and 20, Chris Mosley with the carry. Good tackle there by Derek Hartley Jr. So it's going to bring up 3rd down.
At this point, you have to ask yourself, how does Howard have a chance getting back in this? Get a stop down, maybe block a punt, special teams. They're going to need something like that because they don't have the ability to drive the ball offensively down the field.
And I'm going to add something to that Howard offense since we had the opportunity to see them last weekend against South Carolina State. But first, their defense has to hold here. Try to stop the Eagles from converting on 3rd and 19. Harris underneath Jamari Taylor. And indeed, they're able to force a 4th down and punting unit coming on the field for North Carolina Central. So these two teams, you're just tuning in. The MEAC defending champion Howard Bison has had somewhat of a disappointing season. North Carolina Central, the preseason favorite in the MEAC, but they're all watching South Carolina State as they head to Baltimore to take on Morgan State tomorrow. The Bulldogs win. They clinch the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. Isaiah Williams receives the punt, tries to get a little return here, but great tackle made by special teams. Well, just a reminder, here's what we got coming your way. Women's basketball highlights on our ESPN schedule Sunday for the draft.
Which team had the worst record during the regular season in the WNBA this season?
I believe it was the LA Sparks.
That's what you do. I knew you were ready for it. And now, in that draft,
it's going to be the draft lottery to see
who gets the best of the college players this year, like Paige Buckle.
It's the first pick. Yep, in preparation for this draft. Obviously, Paige Becker's is going to be high on everyone's board as Juan Velarde, a long-term punter here, runs off the field. He's banged up, but boy, he's been an integral piece of the success for North Carolina Central, the senior out of Anderson, South Carolina. I appreciate you trying to get into the conversation.
Now,
about
whoever wins it, though, they won't be able to get Juju.
No, Juju's not eligible.
She's not eligible. She's just a sophomore sensation.
So Jay, here in terms of play selection, you anticipate a run?
Too late to run it now. Down by 17 points. Talking about 3 possessions, 9 minutes to go. So kind of abandoned the run early in this game. And let's give credit to North Carolina Central. They took away the run from you early in this game and made you pretty much one-dimensional. So now you're going to need Deshaun Scroggs, your sophomore quarterback, grow up in a hurry, find some type of rhythm throwing the football.
Well, that was one of the things that Larry Scott told us even last weekend. Hey, this young man has some good qualities, but there's some areas that he wants them to improve. Consistency, accuracy. They run the football there on second down. Max Urin makes the tackle and just try to eliminate some lapses. Are you surprised that they didn't use a little bit more of, say, a Casey Hawthorne, who is a big-time playmaker and is very versatile, as you mentioned earlier?
Yeah, give them some jet sweeps. You keep Casey Hawthorne going across formation, he's going to grab the defense's attention. We didn't get a chance to see him in the Wildcat. They know him like we did in the red zone. And just offensively has not been able to click for this Bison offense.
Runner runs out of the backfield, waits, and bounces it to him. The pass incomplete. And I'll say this, we've also seen Jalen Tolbert. He came in late last week in the backup quarterback for Jay-Sean Scroggins. And you made an excellent point. Comes in, makes a terrific throw, big completion. The play right after that throws an interception. So Scroggins is the guy that Larry Scott and this offensive staff believes in. They understood that there were going to be some growing pains at sophomore quarterback. Fair catch by Markel Quick. And Central holding on to this lead. They've scored 20 unanswered. 8:37 to go in the ballgame.
You know what's better than one Papa John's pizza? 2 Papa John's pizza for only $6.99 each.
50 degrees at game time, and it has steadily dropped to thicken my blood. Jay, I know you're used to this on the East Coast.
I'm fine. You're a Florida girl.
I am.
And you were complaining about the kickoff being real cold, huh?
It was. We're in the booth and we closed the windows a little bit. Folks got blankets out there. Gotta move to stay warm. You're talking about all that dancing. They were trying to stay warm just like me.
Oh, look at that
Taylor,
shake.
who makes the first guy. And again, it's just fun to watch him run.
Like
It is fun to watch him play.
Like Lynn Barney used to say, that somebody left some accoutrement down there on the field. 15, you just got frozen and shook. Reggie Reed Jr. just saw some grown man move. Just a little 3-4 yard run, but how exciting was that? He can really impress running the football. Edge of your seat type run. Every time he gets the ball, you have to be on the edge of your seat because you feel like he can do something special.
From the 25, it's Jamari Taylor again, and Taylor picks up the first down after that run of 8.
Here's what Trey Oliver's doing. You know he wants to put up a big number on Howard, right? But he's up when he knows he's going to win, right? So he's not going to put in the backups, and he's not going to throw the ball all over the place. He's just going to hit you with Jamari Taylor, which that's a slick way of like, I'm going to wear you out with this guy here. To stay in control.
166 yards on the ground for Jamari Taylor on 23 carries. Couple of touchdowns. Walker Harris right there. Chauncey Spikes gets that one into Bison territory. 27 yards on the run and catch.
Now this is what you call a run pass option. This is designed to be a run, but if you see something you like, you can pull it and throw it on the slant route. Once again, picking on number 32, Augustus Oledge. That matchup between Spikes against Oledge, they've been attacking all evening. Walker Harris decided to call his own number and get the big completion.
Over 300 yards now for Walker Harris. 32 through the air. And look at Jamari Taylor again. Jamari Taylor says, I want a little bit more. Give me some more. From 40 yards out. And Jamari Taylor is having a field day. 3 touchdowns on the ground for Taylor. And get this, he's over the 200-yard mark in the rushing game.
Look at the patience. Waited till the tight end came with the block, and then once that happened, was setting up the defenders that he was going to shake, throw the juke move with the X button on. We said at that drive, you know, rather than throw it, Coach Oliver's going to give him a heavy dose of Jamari Taylor. And another blocked kick.
And that's just a head scratcher, Jay, because you've seen 3 blocked field goal attempts tonight.
For a guy that was a special teams coach, he takes pride in his special teams. How they're getting this, is this a low kick? Low kick. And we've seen Velarde miss a kick as well.
Jason Seraphin for the Bison, who got a hand on that to deflect. But how about the job that Jamari Taylor, and you see right there, AC McMorris is trying to explain exactly what happened there. But Jamari Taylor, I mean, has been the story here tonight. Career highs in terms of rushing yards, TDs. I mean, he's single-handedly responsible for 21 of the 26 points scored by Central tonight. Isaiah Williams on the return. Let's go back to Jamari Taylor, the first rusher in the MEAC this season, over 200 yards, and in the process of that, after the play, flags come out again. A lot of jawing going back and forth between these two ball squads.
It's almost like since the outcome of the game's been decided a little bit, it's like you get the feeling these teams just want to fight each other. I mean, it's been building up for 2 years. The officials are really going to have to do a good job of breaking it up, seeing everything, not just calling the penalty on the second responder. It's also going to be interesting. I'll tell you how this is going to play out regardless of the penalties. If Howard comes out and tries to throw the football out, then Central's going to try and run up the score when they get the ball. If Howard comes out and runs the ball.
During the return, holding, return team. That penalty is forced half the distance to the goal. First down.
Tonight's leaders, and you see right there, Jamari Taylor, 284 total yards.
This is nitpicking a little bit, but Walker Harris did not have a great game. At 308 yards, he played good. He didn't play great. We've seen him do better. He'll be thinking about a couple of those throws, but what a performance with the stars showing up in a big-time game.
Jamari Taylor averaging 9 yards a carry, of course, in a couple of long runs, including that 61-yard touchdown run. Meanwhile, Walker Harris, see his team pick up another victory here tonight if they can hold on to the final 6 minutes and 10 seconds.
All right, Tiff. First down pass. Cue it up. Just mark that. Just mark that. With a little bit less than 6.5 minutes to go in the game, Howard's down by 23 points. Offense hasn't moved at all. They come out first pass throwing. Trey Oliver's taking note of that, in my opinion.
Well, you're taking note of it as well. I mean, so
if I am, you know he is.
Yeah, you know he is. But this is something that, Larry Scott is trying to do just to help teach Jayshon Scroggins and pick up kind of learning moments at this time as Scroggins goes down. Another sack, this time Wisdom Sims, but a flag comes out as well.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. Number 91. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
We'll erase that. Good defensive stop as Christian Smith was penalized for the face mask, so it's going to move him out 15 yards, give Howard some breathing room and a fresh set of downs.
Pretty soon, as you saw defensive coordinator in the yellow hat, Courtney Core, go by, Coach Oliver's going to tell him, the D coordinator, go get him. Go get him. If they want to throw it, blitz urine, blitz Brevard like we've been doing to get to the quarterback.
Great pocket there, and ball popped loose as Cole Jones lays a hit. The question is, did he have
saying no catch
possession of it? So no catch. It's being waved off.
Ruling on the field.
Another look at it here.
Pass. Second down.
You leave your feet. You must complete the act of the catch. Good hard hit by Cole Jones. The good old days of hard-hitting football, they would have said that was a football move with the spin along with the hit, but more times than not now, when you leave your feet, you have to complete the act of the catch or be given the ability to complete the act of the catch.
So incomplete, second down, and play clock winding down.
Timeout.
Howard's going to spend the timeout here.
It's the first timeout. It's a 30-second timeout.
So, Jay, when you're talking about what the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference looks like and who their champion will be, it's been interesting over the last few years. Back in 2021, South Carolina State, they were the representatives, and they won the Celebration Bowl. In 2022, North Carolina Central and Howard were co-champions, but Central was the representative for the MEAC. They go on to win Cricket Celebration Bowl. Last year, Howard made it there as well as MEAC champions. They fell to Florida A&M. This year, it appears that South Carolina State in the driver's seat. They can lock things up tomorrow against Morgan.
And that's the story of the HBCU season thus far, the success that first-year head coach Kenneth Berry has had
please
now
refrain from
in
playing
Orangeburg.
when Howard is on offense.
Got him to buy in,
Thank you.
brought in a number of transfer players from his previous location, as he likes to call it, and done a good job. And I think a lot of people in the coaching fraternity, they respect that. He's a guy that paid his dues, and they're not surprised at the success that he's having.
Scroggins completes the pass. And right at that first down marker as Isaiah Williams hauls it in. I think there were a number of teams that were in the mix in the 6-team conference as the clock continues to run. Howard taking their time, but Morgan was in it. Howard, North Carolina Central, and South Carolina State. So a 4-team race, and right there on the fringe was Norfolk State.
Norfolk State kind of had, they started off conference play beating Howard, so that put Howard behind the 8 ball earlier, and then they were leading at Morgan State before they allowed Morgan State to come back and take it. I was thinking like, whoa, Norfolk State's about to be 2-0, and we saw them in the opening game of the year where they almost knocked off Florida A&M, the MEAC SWAC Challenge. So we thought maybe this is the year. We knew it would be a very competitive race in the MEAC, but I'm going to tell you, nobody saw South Carolina State coming. Were they projected to come in 4th in the conference?
Second down and Scroggins. Another sack for the Eagles defense.
That's Juju Watkins, number 99, coming around, beat this guy, then get some help from the guys.
And right now a season high in sacks for North Carolina Central's defense. See the number tonight, half a dozen. Third of what they put together this season. On 3rd and 15, and the pass incomplete. Another Cricket Celebration Bowl coming up December 14th. Jay and I will be there. Kicks off Eastern on ABC and really helps to kick off bowl season as well before we see the new expanded 12-team college football playoff. Green on to punt it away. Almost got to him, partially could have affected it. And let's take a look at what's coming your way tomorrow. Delaware State at Norfolk State, and then of course that big matchup, South Carolina State against Morgan State. And the Bears defense, that is not an easy task for Eric Phoenix and that offense, because Agent Zero Elijah Williams is a dude.
Absolutely. Morgan State probably has, top to bottom, the premier defense in the conference. Their problem has been, can they score enough points to beat people? It'll be a showdown. Eric Phoenix, the quarterback, who's arguably the front runner for the Offensive Player of the Year in the conference and possibly the HBCU National Player of the Year, have his work cut out for him going against a tough defense.
Catch both of those games over on ESPN Plus. A 9-yard run on first down for Chris Mosley. And that's one of the things that you see in Trey Oliver coach teams, the fact that He's able to recruit, keep guys in the program, which is really hard to do in today's college football landscape. So we talked about Mookie Collier, and Jamari Taylor waited his turn. Now Jamari Taylor is the guy, but also in a couple of years, you could see Eleni Maggio or others get their opportunity. Fifth-year senior Chris Mosley with the carry once again, one of the fastest guys on the team. He picks up the first down.
Looks like they have done Bison a favor by they brought in their backup offensive lineman right now. And Chris Mosley is a more than capable backup. Hard to call him a backup with his speed he brings. But they're keeping Walker Harris out there and a couple of receivers.
That brings us to the 2-minute timeout. So we'll step aside here as well from O'Kelly Riddick Stadium to see the finish of this one.
Fighting? And I was like, he's probably part of UFC 100. But the reason being, did you know that John Bone Jones is the youngest ever champion in the history of UFC?
I did not know that.
So when he won the title, he was the youngest to ever do it, so he was real young to do it. Now he's emerging. He's in the heavyweight class now, which they call the money division in UFC. Attained the title March 2023.
Look at you coming in with the facts.
One of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest UFC fighter.
Drag route complete to Kai Wall. Crossing. Jay, I was just trying to say that. He said, look.
Hit him there. But you noticed that was a passing play.
It was. It was third and one.
They want this first down. They can take a knee, get up out of here. And a little bit of payback for that 2-point conversion Howard went for a year ago.
See everyone around the line of scrimmage, and
Walker
Harris going for the end zone, and it's caught by Chauncey Spikes.
Wow.
The touchdown.
That's what they wanted.
That adds salt to the wound for Howard as the Eagles.
You knew that Trey was like 20, the 26-3 lead, that's one thing. 33-3 sounds better. And you only gave up 3 points. And a good job by Spikes. One-handed. No, he didn't catch it.
Well, here's the thing. They're going to likely review this upstairs and right here. Boom. See the ball hit the ground.
They'll go for it again, though. they will go for it again.
The ruling on the field of a touchdown is under review.
And that one is going to come back. As did hit the ground. Spikes did not have possession of the football the entire way.
At some point, they got a chance to dig it in and really take it to them. They were going to do that. And, we say in sports, same things that make you laugh, make you cry. And just to reiterate, it was a big deal when Howard was up 48-20 against Central for a 2-point conversion.
That was last year, but that was a bitter taste from last year that lingered, Jay.
I'm telling you, these two programs don't like each other.
No, they do not. And even though I don't think either one of them would necessarily categorize it as a rivalry, it is certainly building up to that.
And the reason being because it's an in-conference rivalry. Howard's big rival is Hampton Institute. That's our rival.
Hampton University.
Hampton Institute. And
you can't help it.
And North Carolina Central's rival is
North Carolina A&T.
And that's a non-conference game now, so the Bison and the Eagles are going to start.
After review, the ruling on the field of a touchdown has been reversed to an incomplete pass. 4th down.
Matt Leone, the offensive coordinator, called up or dialed up that play. See if he runs it back again.
No, they'll run the ball here now, then get up to the line of scrimmage, and then try and go for the end zone.
You called it. Chris Mosley getting loose. And Chris Mosley inside the 10. Okay.
If I was being an agitator, I'd go up there and spike it right now. Go up there, spike it, but they're just going to call plays. Now they'll try the pass attempt here because they want to stop the clock. They either want a touchdown catch or the clock to stop.
Mosley, he had him for a second. Pass deflected at the line of scrimmage, and a flag comes out.
Roughing the passer.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense. Number 15. That penalty is spot at the 2-yard line. First time.
What was it? What time mark was it when I said coming out of the break? I said if they throw the ball on first down, Trey Oliver's not going to forget that. And he's going to say, okay, when we get the ball back, we're going to try and score on it. And true to form, we do our research. We know these guys. So if you could have called that as well. I'm just vocal enough to express that. But this is no surprise that they are going for more points right now in this situation.
Absolutely. So, unsure why.
Correction, the ball being marked half the distance. First time.
Okay, so the ball is half the distance to the goal line. Underneath to Chris Mosley, who trips. Will that be the final play of the game? Indeed, it is. So the final score in this one, 26-3, North Carolina Central takes down Howard. So it's gone back and forth. And
this will be a quick handshake here.
A quick one indeed.
You knew that was going to be a quick one.
But what a ball game from Jamari Taylor, the job that he did tonight to really help lift this group. It was Howard that got on the board first, and then North Carolina Central rolled off 26 unanswered points. All the more impressively, their offense had a total of 563 yards as things are getting a little bit more interesting on the field near the 30-yard line between these two teams, understanding that there's some bad blood between the two.
They need to stop. This is going to get ugly.
And they've got to try to stop this melee on the field if possible, as both teams trying to stay on their side, but punches are being thrown.
This is a tough
and again,
one,
this is the tough part right here, because you see a helmet flying. Again, a lot of pushing and shoving on the field between these two.
I mean, this is bad.
And the fight breaks out. You see the police is out. The police is out there. Coach Scott, along with defensive coordinator Courtney Cord, as this is a brawl on the field, and they're trying to pull them off, and they're able to separate them. Looks like they may be spraying some pepper spray.
Yeah, because it's no longer under the hands of the officials. It's under security. When the whistle blows, officials leave the field.
Now, this is absolutely what you do not want to see. We talked about both of these teams not having love for each other, but this is not what you want. This is not representative of these programs. As, again, punches being thrown.
The conference will look at this, and unfortunately, this may be the last time we see some of these guys play a college football game if they're suspended for the next game.
And you see they're still going. Juju Williams is wrapped up in there. They've got one more game. You've got Morgan for Howard next weekend and at Delaware State for North Carolina Central. And you would hate to see a player's season or career come to an end by way of this.
You almost want to think, okay, North Carolina Central, you won the game. You beat them badly on the scoreboard. You beat them up physically. You know, it's time to say, okay, they're upset that they lost here. Let them go. Pull back. Pull back. That's when you need your leaders to step up. Pull back. We won this game.
And you see the coaches doing everything they can to try to point their players back into the locker room and away from the opponent. And just trying to herd them into the locker room. You don't want to see a white jersey close to a gray jersey, but this is taking some time for both teams.
Yeah, that's where you need the band to start playing the school alma mater, where everybody comes and you start doing that. You know, they got the drums beat and everybody's just kind of waiting to look. But
well, things have calmed down a little bit. Meanwhile, Jamari Taylor standing by. You're looking on, and this is not necessarily the way you want to see things end, but can you just talk about the importance of your role here tonight, a career high night?
I had a pretty good night. I think my O-line, I think the defense, the coaches putting me in a great position to, achieve my goal and hit 1,000 rushing yards today.
Jamari, so many running backs are judged by their legs and how they can make people miss. But the thing that really astounds me is your vision. It's like when you're out there running the ball, things going in slow motion. That's why you're able to set up your blockers so well.
Yes, sir, it does. And, as a running back, you can't be fast to hit the hole all the time. You got to see how things play out and read your keys. And sometimes you got to be a little slow before, you hit the hole.
What was Coach Oliver's message to you all at halftime?
Coach Oliver's message to us at halftime was we got to fight, we got to turn it up a notch, and we got to let them match our intensity.
And I'm curious about this. The talent that you've had, but the patience you've had. We know you're a patient runner, but you've been patient off the field. This is your first year to start running back. How tough was that knowing that you could add something valuable to this offense once you got your opportunity, and now you're showing the world what you can do?
Man, I was behind a lot of great guys that played here. It was a humbling experience to learn from them and with this college ball, and they helped me throughout the way.
All right, thanks, Jamari, and a spectacular night indeed for you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
What a humble young man, and listening to Jamari Taylor, and that was a great question because he did wait his turn, but boy.
Message, people can learn from that. Wait your turn. Patience is a virtue.
Dropping bars here at the end of this broadcast. Well, it was a dominating performance for North Carolina Central. They outlast the Bison 26-3. Friday night lights and Friday night fights at the end of this one. For Jay Walker and the rest of our great crew, I'm Tiffany Green from Durham, North Carolina, saying, we out.